Howdy.
How you doing, Jim?
All right, you?
Doing good.
You do find a closet to sit in?
I got my nieces and nephew over, so I gotta do the meeting in my room. I was gonna do it outside, but then they're gonna follow me. They're enjoying the pool outside. I just got out of the pool with them.
Uh, Well, that's fun.
Yeah. Almost back to school for them, so. And I'm excited with the store. We got the permit going, the special permit, the construction's on the way. My contractor is doing the layout of the building. And we're ready to, I mean, the ball's rolling, so I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's good. So let's see. I have got to. Guess I got my wife's name on here. Change that.
Make sure my sign guy is on too. You just make a quick phone call. Hi, it's Matt. Hey, Matt. It's Steve around. Is he? Okay, just a reminder. What we have the design review board meeting at 4 o'clock. Yeah. So he. Okay, he should has the email, the link to the email for Zoom. All right, we'll see him then. Thank you. Bye.
I have to do that to my own members, but I do it in the morning. Well, they're still alive, you know?
I emailed him this morning and I left him a message, so he didn't return my call. So another reminder. I hate to be the bad guy to keep reminding people, but I want to get this done.
Yeah. And we need Mr. McGrail too here.
Mr. McGrail, where is he? Yeah.
Of course, the last meeting I had with him, I was the late one. And it turns out, I think the reason I was late was my Zoom software had been superseded by a new one, and I didn't have the new one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it was giving me all sorts of error messages, and I didn't figure it out until my wife tried to get on Zoom the other day, and then she was having trouble, but they sent a little message saying, you need to update, you know? So.
Hi, Jim. Hi,
Hi.
Seth.
Get out of the shadows, will you?
I know. It's
All
just
right. Hi, Brian.
terrible.
Turn on a light in your room or something.
I think if I pull this down, it's better. Let's see. No, wait a minute.
No.
Hold on. Let me see if this works. If I do that, I got to test this. And then I turn on the light. That's better. And I got to shut these other shades. It's the sunlight that causes the problem.
Jeff?
That's better.
Yeah, barely. You need to get one of those circular lights that puts light on your face, particularly as many Zoom meetings you go to.
Is that better?
Oh, yeah, that's a lot better. Yeah, take the shade off it. Maybe that would help.
That might help if I tilt it. Yeah.
Jeff, you there? Jeff was calling in by phone.
Mr. Jeff, is our sign guy hopping on?
I just called him and reminded him, so he was in the middle with a customer. Hopefully he'll sign in.
Did that light work better, Jim?
Yes, that's better. But I don't know if this is Jeff trying to call in. He's not answering. Jeff,
I'm in.
hey, you're in. Okay. All right, that's good. We still need the sign guy to come on board. I hope you're not driving and talking to us at the same time, Jeff. So while we're waiting, I'm going to read this little public notice I have to read with each one of these meetings. Consistent with the this is for a meeting on 8 Albion Street, continuation from 2 other meetings. One never happened because we didn't have all the parties available. So this is 8 Albion Street. Consistent with a review of signage proposal, consistent with the governor's order extending certain provisions of the open meeting law, every effort will be made to allow the public to review and listen to the meeting in real time. If you do not have a camera or microphone on your computer, you may use the following dial-in number: 1-301-715-8592, meeting ID 810-5296-1776, password 935840. Please only use dial-in or computer, not both, as audio feedback will distort the meeting. This meeting will be audio and visually recorded in a compliance with the American for Disability Act. This location will be accessible to people with disability. Wakefield can provide reasonable accommodations, any in or language assistance free of charge upon request. If you are a person with disability and require formation or material in any additional format, or if you require any other accommodation, please contact Town Disability Coordinator William Renault, Town Engineer, at 781-246-6308 as in advance for the event as possible. Every effort to grant your request. Advance notification enables the towns to make reasonable accommodations to remove occasional barriers from you. So that's the public side of things, and we've lost.
Yeah, we lost my
Whatever.
client. Is anybody trying to get in, Jim?
I don't see anybody. I just got Jeff, you and I guess.
Oh, I'm gonna find out what happened.
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here where our client disappeared on us. He's off the screen,
I'm trying to get him now.
lost the contact. Oh. Someone's coming up.
Is that-
Stefan, who
Oh,
must
yeah,
be the
sign guy.
sign guy.
Yep.
Client's coming back.
Oh, good.
All right, I'm back online.
Is Stephen our sign guy?
Yes, Stephen is our sign guy.
He's,
Stephen, are you there?
he's connecting right now.
Oh, connecting, yeah. Oh, there he is. Hi, Stephen.
His audio is
Audio
connecting.
is still connecting.
Okay, quacks like a duck.
Steve, we can't hear you. Steve, you want to dial in on your phone and that way you can see the screen, but you can talk on your phone? I'm gonna give him the phone number. He's dialing in now. Jim, you're gonna have to let people share their screen.
What's that?
You might be working on letting us share the screen. You know how to do that?
Yeah, looking, I gotta open something at first.
Miss Jeff, do you have his cell phone number?
I do have his cell phone number.
Well, dial him and you can put your cell phone on speaker and he can participate via your microphone.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna put you on my speaker and then you can probably hear the
Oh.
meeting that way.
Tell Stephen to mute his video, to mute it.
Steve, can you mute your video?
You have him on the phone for Chef?
Yeah, he's on speaker.
Sorry, guys, give me a second.
Tell him to say something for Chef to see if we can hear him.
All right, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yep, talk louder, Steve.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yep, perfect.
All right, sorry about that.
No problem. You just have to talk a little bit loud, Steve, when you're talking for us to hear you.
All right. Can you hear me?
Put the phone a little closer.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, let's get started here.
Yep.
So we've gone through the agenda. At this point, basically, the latest application drawing is one which is 11 square feet and sits on the second floor, bracketed off the second floor. So we're talking about a bracketed sign, which normally has to be 9 square feet max and has to go through the zoning board for approval and not through the design committee. The design committee basically can make a recommendation to a sign to the zoning board, but the final decision ends up with the zoning board. So the original submission basically was 9 square feet. Now we're at 11 square feet. And we're bracketed up very high. I'm going to take you through some, particularly for Steve's information anyways, what we had addressed earlier when we were asked what would we be looking for direction, basically. Your client, that is, looking for direction. So what we got is 2 different signs. I assume the top one, concept 2, is what is being pursued at this moment. But let me move backwards in time a bit here. So what you see before you is a sign, another bracketed sign that came for a real estate broker that was way up in the same sort of area on the ceiling of the second floor, basically, and 9 square feet. It's, as you can see, basically from the distant photo, basically, it's very high up. Both of them, as proposed, are very high up. Very difficult to
That's how
see. Very difficult to see.
Mine was not that high. Mine comes out exactly at the height of the pitch of the roof. Is the bottom of my sign.
So right in here is where the bottom of where the roof is.
Yep.
Okay,
The roof will actually probably be like maybe 2 inches up higher than the bottom because the bottom is going to extend out by a few inches. So
Okay.
that sign is really that's not where my sign is. My sign's coming down right up against the pitch of the roof, and then the roof starts tapering down.
yeah, okay, understood. So our concern on the board was that this is not doing the client much good because it's too high up. Whether it be down another foot or 2, it's still very high up. Maybe not as high as the retail, as a real estate broker, but still high up. It doesn't get the notice that pedestrians or cars are going to get. And the thing is that there's no opportunity, basically, for this particular store to get a sign on the wall. By the time he expands the windows and the like, there's no space for any sign on the ground floor. So this sign basically has to be for his whole business and is up in the air. So one of the things we had originally said was maybe something ought to be circular and be lower and take into the space, into this triangle space, project itself more over. And even if it was circular, basically in here, it would be closer to the street and more noticeable by pedestrians and by traffic. In this case here, this was an early con.
So you would gain some sign viewage, but not a lot because now you're going to a round opposed to a square, which we do have a round logo for that.
Yeah, well, your logo in your sign, yes, you have this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the question we have, the proposal we had at early in concept discussion was, even before you guys got involved, was wouldn't it be nice if something could take that even further down and live in the void that's basically created in this pocket here? And so we said, well, how about something like this with a teapot and the like? But then, seeing the next one was saying, well, if something could happen in this area, whether it be a triangle, whether it be a circle, it would lower this whole thing and basically make it pull it closer to the street. Now, as you might have noticed, the art center across the street has a sign that's 13.5 square feet. And the reason the board allowed that was they too basically had no opportunity for signage, for a wall sign on that building. So they convinced the board that they could, if they could have a bigger sign, they just won't have a wall sign. They'll just have a bracket sign that will be their only sign. This is the same sort of situation where you don't have any room on the first floor, particularly when these windows get extended. So this is the sign. And how might you basically utilize the space in this area here better? Now, having said all that, we're trying to look at this from a perspective of what's best for the business, basically. And so if you guys want to submit this, that's oversized, plus is up there higher, basically, maybe not as high as that other sign, you certainly can submit it and see what the board has to say. We're just saying that wouldn't it be better marketing wise to be lower and utilize the area in the pitch of the roof? Now, whether that means, clipping the edges on this thing and making a circle, that's entirely up to you guys. But at this point, we're making recommendation, basically, that you should take another look at this, is where we're coming from at this point.
What do you have to say about that?
I still like the square. I think having it down to where the pitch of the roof, I believe that should be enough visual for the pedestrians and cars, because the reason why I said that the next door store, the goalpost, their sign is a lot higher than where we are proposing.
Yeah, but they have at the same time, they don't have a roof like you do.
They don't.
Your
Absolutely.
your vision is totally obstructed basically by the roof.
By that roof.
So the goalposts, basically, you're absolutely right. They're up higher, but they have no obstruction. Unfortunately, this roof does not help the business. It certainly defines a business there, but it doesn't help as far as advertising the business.
Sure.
Hey, what if we left it square at the top and we rounded it at the bottom?
I mean, I would have to look at it if we taking it round off the edge.
I would suggest, Steve, that you basically take and turn it around and show it to your client. Basically overlay it onto the roof and maybe an angled sort of thing, like you're across the street or something like that, or in the street, and show it to him and see what he thinks. Because you can look at it and see how far you can get that, how much further you can get down to do this.
Well, we already sent him around in the beginning, and he was not, he wasn't happy with it. So he said, I really like the square, I want to stick with the square. So we went back to the square. But I can keep a square top, give you a round bottom. I'll send you another proof of that, what it looks like, and have you take a look at that. And maybe that will be the compromise between the 2 feet for the town and for UV.
It's, I mean, graphically, it seems a little strange when in fact you've got a circle and all of a sudden you got 2 corners at the top and rounded at the bottom. I think you take advantage of basically a total circle and hang the total circle there. The square edges don't seem to correlate with the graphics you're presenting for him.
I mean, being a circle within with a few inches different, was that gonna make a huge difference, bringing it down as low as possible to where we propose it? I mean, you're talking about that corner edge of the roof and the sign. If we just cut down that into a circle, we're looking at a couple inches difference.
I don't know that you are. I mean, that's for Steve to basically get some dimensions from the field and find out what it does. I suspect it's more than a couple inches.
It might drop it down like five, 6, maybe 7 inches. I don't think it's going to be anything drastic because if you take the 57 inches and cut that corner off, it's only about a 5-inch difference.
Yeah, but that means, that means that the center of the round circle ends up a lot lower. It doesn't have anything to do with the edge. It has to do with the pitch of the roof and the bottom of that circle. I mean, you're gonna have a roof that's coming like this,
Exactly.
and it's gonna nip this, but that's the control point right there with wherever that roof comes across it. And I don't know what that angle is.
If you split the difference of 57 by 2, that gives you half the circle. And if you split that difference between that by 2, that should give you a rise on the roof. So, like, it's only a little bit of rise on it. That's the biggest thing is it's going to come out a little bit, but then it's going to be sitting on the roof almost. If I do the round bottom, we can still bring it out and bring it down a little bit, B.
Yeah.
I'm just looking, and what I'll do is I'll watch it, the shape, instead of going with the round circle. I'll make it the shape of the board itself, square at the top, come down on the edges, and then have it curve in on the bottom. I might be able to do that really quick while we're on the thing and give you a visual of it. And I apologize for not getting I forgot I bought a new computer with the thing and it didn't have anything. I tried clicking on it, it wasn't doing anything. So I'll have to figure it out.
I think we're going back what Jim said. I think it just wouldn't look symmetrical, I would say, or just looks strange with being a circle at the bottom and then squaring at the top.
Let me see if I can do it really quick and everybody can see it.
Jeff, we haven't gone anywhere, just in case you don't know.
Sounds like you can't hear me when I talk.
Is Steve drawing something up, Jim?
Steve's disappeared, yeah. I mean, Steve's on, but your client has disappeared.
Steve's more important. But we're not gonna hear Steve without my client.
Yeah,
He'll come back.
Brian, are you gonna file this? Are you gonna refile?
No, I don't have to. I'm on the agenda.
Okay,
So it's just a matter of, when we're ready to bring it forward. So that's we're in a good spot.
okay. He's back.
All right, we're back online, Steve.
All right.
He's doing magic right now.
Steve, you drawing something up?
Yeah,
Wow, you're good.
bear with me.
Yeah,
What?
I said you're good to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect, trust me, but it's gonna have some of the concepts on it.
That will help. Right, Jim? Just a little discussion purposes to see it.
Oh, yeah, no, it's fine.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're good. I said that that it doesn't look too bad.
No, I kind of like it.
I can reposition everything a little bit so it's better laid out. Obviously, I just threw it together.
Yeah, actually, that's
Can Jeff see it? Jeff, can you see it?
No, I'm not sure he can.
Oh, hold on then.
Yeah, I think that would work.
yeah, that's not too bad at all. That's perfect. I thought
guess-
it looks
I guess the question then is that the void across the top, would you do something across there to sort of bring it together a bit, or would you drop that horizontal line on the top further down?
Oh, I'll make it all more symmetrical. That was just a quick throw together to.
No, it's a good shot.
So what I do is I probably spread everything out a little bit, make it more cohesive to the circle. Obviously, pick the side of the circle because it's kind of comes in and goes like this because I didn't scale it right.
I mean, the object,
But I can get something over
the
to you
object-
like
the
that.
object-
We'll drop it down.
you might even get closer to 9 square feet, but I don't mind really talking about a little bit larger, basically like the 11 that you're proposing. On the other hand, I think graphically, whatever you can do to basically, not leave some dead spots in it, because the circle basically got rid of the dead spots. Now you've created a dead spot, but you can always do something graphically in there to sweeten it up.
Yeah. Like I said, that was just thrown together. It's not 100%. That's just thrown in there.
No, it's a good, quick sketch.
Yeah, once I move, I'll move the over tee up, make it a little bigger, spread it out, make the ice tee a little bit, ice house a little bit bigger. And that will fill up the bottom, and then the top will fill out nice.
What's everybody else think?
I think Jeff had a good idea. I think it's good.
Sean?
Okay.
no, I like it. I thought it would look weird, but after seeing it, it's actually fits well with that pitch.
So what I'll do is I'll clean it all up. I'll get to the point where everything looks symmetrically nice in there. There's no dead space. Obviously, clean up the edges on the circle so it looks nice for you. And then I can get that over to you a little bit later on. I'll get it tomorrow morning to you because today I got to get payroll in and I got to finish the vehicle that's in my bag. So I
Hey,
can get that over to you
Steve,
tomorrow morning.
Steve, you do a mock-up showing it on the building like you did with the other one?
Yeah, I'll put it all on the building and everything.
Great.
I think something more isometric than he just had a straight on. Basically, in his stuff, something on, like standing, like I said earlier, about standing in the street or somewhere where you're maybe on the sidewalk across the street, whatever, basically, something that shows the roof, the building and the sign, and maybe something even closer up. Could be even a cross section type of thing like what he did originally. Several object related visuals basically will help show this thing off.
Well, I gave you a street perspective and a side and a frontal perspective in the proofs I sent over. Without breaking down some ladders and stuff and getting up higher to get a street perspective up on a ladder, then
No,
this is what I get to
yeah,
work
but
with.
you're only going to see it from a car or a pedestrian, basically. You're not flying by, so on the ground type of image basically is all.
Yeah, and that's what I've given you is the one on the ground. I can drop the thing
Yeah.
down a little bit so you can see the circle because you have both of the ones I sent you, right? With the two pictures on them, the street view and the front view. So if you scroll down,
I was trying to get this back up, but yeah, so
yeah,
I
do
have, I have that one basically, which I guess if it was blown up a little more so you could see it, it's I thought it was kind of tough to see, but anyway, something like that, basically, give everybody a better perspective on this.
V, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Can you give me a picture of walking up the hill opposed to down the hill?
Up.
Like from Main Street, the opposite direction. That one there is taken from going from the top of the hill down. Can you get me coming up the hill?
Sure.
And maybe it will show the roof a little bit better.
Sure.
And then I can work with that and send it over.
Okay. I'll tomorrow morning I can go out to Albion Street and take a couple photos and you can let me know if that will work or what type of angle you want before I leave.
Well, just take it like you're on the sidewalk, because that's what somebody's going to see it. They're either going to see you driving up the street or driving on the sidewalk.
Okay.
So if you take it from the sidewalk, looking up the street with your building on the
Left.
left,
Yep.
take that picture there, and even if you want to take it from like if don't get hit, but pretend you're a car driving up and take a picture in the middle of the street, I'll use both perspectives.
Okay.
You better have him pay his bill first, just in case he gets run over.
I might have a picture. I've just taken a couple pictures. I didn't take it up too high. Yeah, I can I'm gonna be there tomorrow to meet with my contractors. And I'll take a couple pictures and send them over to you.
And I'll get that back to you. I'm gonna say by 11.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody happy with me?
No, I think this is, well, you got a little more history now as to where we were coming from anyway. And I think you've taken it a step or two ahead, that's for sure.
Yeah, because he saw the circle and he really did not like the circle, just the bare circle.
Yeah,
So I think this is a good compromise between the two.
yeah. Well, like I said earlier, I mean, you could still file it. It's just what sort of support you might get from us on the board. And this certainly would give you more support from us. We have to make just so you understand, we have to make a recommendation as to how we feel about it. Sometimes we'll say, we're fine with it, it's great, we recommend approval. Sometimes we'll say, it's could do a little bit of help. We might even explain what we try to do to highlight it. And other times, basically, we deny it. Now, that's even in the cases where we not deny it, it doesn't mean a zoning board will deny it. I've had some of those too, where I have, the board has basically said in their letter, basically, we recommend a denial. And the board has turned around basically and approved it anyway. So they've got a mind of their own at times.
Now, the people sitting on the board, are you guys sign people, designers?
I'm on the board, but I recuse myself from voting. I will, between Jeff and I and Bob, we'll usually put together some sort of memo to the board, making recommendations or whatever. But I stay out of basically approving or denying it as a board member, so I'll stand down.
Now, that's my question. Are you a sign company yourself, or are you?
I'm an architect by background. We've got
Okay.
attorneys, basically. We've got builders on the board, basically 2 builders, 2 or 3 attorneys, and 1 architect, me. And that's how I got on this board to begin with. They wanted someone that was on the board, but also had design abilities, basically, even though it's architecture.
Okay, I was just curious because I'd like to do more signs in your town, and hopefully it's a growing relationship.
Huh.
All right. I'll get that over to you in the morning. You're gonna send me a couple of pictures. What else would you like to see from me? I did not get your name on the board. What was your name?
Jim.
Jim. Is there anything else you want to see from me on that?
No, I think, the revised submission, basically, and along with some of these images, basically, you don't, assume that we'll give it a thumbs up at this point. So I think you can give it a finished look. And at the same time, some of those images probably will be part of what the board gets. So they too can understand it. Quite often, and Brian would tell you this as well, for architectural buildings, we quite often do renderings basically for these bigger projects. So some of the people's like attorneys and stuff like that basically need to see it in more of 3-dimensional nature, all right? Whereby the builders and myself basically can understand it because we work in that realm. So those images would help the board understand where we come from and where we are, basically. You don't have to show them the past. Just show the current proposal.
Yeah.
And if it's gonna be bigger than 9, just give us the information on it so we can make our recommendation based on size as well. But like I said, the opportunities available to you are not much different than across the street with the art center, where they didn't have an opportunity to put a wall sign up. So the projecting bracket sign is their sign for the business, basically. So you fall into the same problem.
My biggest thing is I don't want to project past the outer edge of that roof.
No, there are some restrictions basically as to how far they can sit out, even at the height. So we'll have to work out with Brian basically whether it's within that height time frame and within the setback frame as well, because you might end up having to ask for relief on a few things basically at the same time. But that's something can be worked out with Brian.
Well, I believe the height is 8 feet, between 8 and 8.5 feet is the height, not minimum. And then the offset from the street, like usually 4 feet, which is usually the width of the sidewalk.
I'm not sure that the current roof meets that requirement itself, so we'll have to look at that. And as far as height, there's already something of a precedent in that the board has already approved one much higher than, as you point out, than you are, basically. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. No, I just don't want to be too far. I didn't want to come out past the width of the roof.
Well,
And
they are a little, they're, I think the way this was written for projection off the building had to do with snow removal and the equipment that the town has. There have been some sidewalk plows that have ripped awnings off buildings or at least destroyed the awnings. So that's why you got a lower height and an upper height and a dimension off the curb line.
all right, well, I'll get this over to you guys, and I believe what me and V worked out is the exact width of this one, projection wise, is to the edge of the roof. So I want to keep it within that roof span.
Yep. Okay,
Because if it comes up past that roof span, I feel the town's going to be, because the roof's already far enough out as it is. And like you said, I don't want it projecting too much further out, so it's causing any type of hindrance to anything going up or down, or, you know, some crazy kid standing on the back of his bike and hitting it or something.
all right. Or a hockey stick going into it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't know what these kids do. I watch them go down the street and they jump up and hang up awnings. And then I get a call, can you fix my awning?
It's just what you did when you were that age.
Exactly, and I know why we did it.
All right,
Um,
I think we're pretty much done here. So I'm gonna close this. So you'll work on this and send out copies, and then we'll have to reschedule for another meeting.
Okay.
Anything
I'll be
else,
more
Brian?
prepared for the Zoom meeting if it's another one.
Brian, anything else?
He's on mute.
You're mute, Brian.
Can't hear you, Brian.
He's on mute.
Turn on your mic. He's talking to another client somewhere else. He's carrying on parallel business. He's double billing.
Yeah.
Brian, yeah, that's a good idea.
We all set, Jim?
Yeah, you can get off. We're just trying to get Brian. Thank you.
All righty.
Maybe he's writing, I don't know.
I don't think he knows sign language.
Literally sign language.
Or you need to do it in legalese.
Double spaced.
Yeah,
All right, guys. You guys can work that out between you. I get payroll in 15
All right.
minutes.
all right, thanks.
Thank you, Steven.
Don't forget to send me those pictures in the morning.
I sure will. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep. Have a good day.
Thank you. I don't know where he's gone.
What do you think about that design? You think that's I think it looks really
Well,
something different.
like I said, I never had I don't think any of us had any issue with the design. It was
Yeah.
more basically trying to get it lower.
Lower, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this solves that problem and be interesting to see how he pulls the rest of this together, basically. at this-
Sure. Yeah.
But, yeah. So, so let's just get it wrapped up so we can have a follow-up meeting, basically.
Sure.
And then we'll be all set. So where it is. So I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
Close the meeting and I think I'll get a hold of Brian and find out what happened to him. He looks like
Okay.
it looks like he's trying to talk, but he's not getting anywhere. All right,
So I know what I need to do for my end. I will get some of the pictures to my sign guy, and then you'll get with Brian, and we'll schedule another meeting, and hopefully we can all come to a decision.
okay, great.
Thank you, Jim. Have a good day.
See ya. All right, this completes the meeting on 8 Albion Street at 4:48.